وصحبه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. آمين يا رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. It's good to be here as always. Jazakallah khair for the recitation, inshallah. I love Surah Al-Insan as well. May Allah bless you and your family. During this time of the day, it's always good to just talk about the Quran. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, and we talked about this before last time I was here. So inshallah, what we're going to go over together is just some reflections around Surah Kafiroon. And it's a surah that I'm pretty sure everybody knows. And it's something that I'm pretty sure also most people, if not all, know the meanings of Surah Kafiroon. But what we're going to do today is just some reflections and maybe some lessons, inshallah, that we can extract out of the surah. And I also like to keep this interactive. I know it's early in the morning, and everybody just kind of maybe got up. So I'll try to keep this as interactive as possible to keep us talking, inshallah ta'ala. So Surah Al-Kafiroon, who knows if it's Mekki Surah or Madani Surah, which was revealed before the migration of the Prophet ﷺ or after? Yes? Huh? Mekki Surah, very good. So it was revealed before the migration of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Now, the Meccan surahs have a lot of them have very common themes. A lot of them talk about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, talk about faith, talk about Jannah, talk about hellfire, the foundation of our creed. And in Surah Al-Kafiroon, there's an incident when the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, his message was spreading, and the people of Quraysh wanted to stop it in any way, shape, or form. There's nothing that they did not try with the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Because to them, this message, this Islam, this religion came and disrupted everything in the society. Made everybody equal, right? Told them do and not to do. Made fun of, in a way, mocked their idols. And told them this doesn't make any sense. You worship these stones, it doesn't make any sense. It just disrupted everything. It changed everything. So to the leaders of Quraysh, they were not very happy about it. So one time they'll come to the Prophet Muhammad and say, Ya Rasulullah, or they wouldn't say Ya Rasulullah, but they will say, we'll offer you the best women we have. Marry whoever you want. Pick the prettiest of all. And he says, no. We'll give you all the money in the world. No. So we'll make you our leader. We'll make you a king. He's like, no. Just so can he stop. Until one time they said, okay, we have a proposal that we don't think you're going to refuse. They said, what is it? They said to him, you worship our God 1 year, and we worship your God 1 year. Okay? Sounds like a fair deal, right? We're not going to say we'll follow you, but you also have to follow our gods. And then he said, I'm going to wait to give you an answer. He didn't give them an answer. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals to him Surah Al-Kafiroon as an answer to them. Now, there are several things here. Obviously, you know what the surah says. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ, say, O Muhammad, to those who are disbelievers, لَا أَعْبُدُ مَا تَعْبُدُونَ, I will not worship what you worship. وَلَا أَنْتُمْ عَابِدُونَ مَا أَعْبُدُ, nor would you worship what I worship. وَلَا أَنَا عَابِدٌ مَا عَبَدْتُمْ, nor will I ever worship what you worship. وَلَا أَنْتُمْ عَابِدُونَ مَا أَعْبُدُ, you do not worship what I worship. لَكُمْ دِينُكُمْ وَلِيَ دِينِ, to you is your religion, and to mine is my religion. Now, there are several things. First, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ never, ever, ever compromised his religion. If you want to summarize the biggest lesson of Surah Al-Kafiroon, is that you do not compromise your religion. Which also means you do not compromise principles in our religion. Allah is one, and it would always remain like that. Homosexuality is prohibited, and it will always remain like that. Riba is haram, and it will always remain like that. It never changes. We have to pray 5 times a day, it never changes. And this is important because oftentimes, when we read this surah, it's like, oh, Allah's talking about those people. Allah's talking about the Kafiroon. We're believers, alhamdulillah, we're here for offense. We believe in Allah. So we might just go into this mentality of like, okay, this is not talking to me. This surah is not about me. It's about those who disbelieve. I believe, alhamdulillah, my family is Muslims, I'm good. But there's a beautiful lesson, is that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, yes, we, alhamdulillah, will not compromise our religion. But maybe some of us will compromise parts of the religion. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran criticizes Bani Israel, and He tells them, أَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِبَعْضِ الْكِتَابِ وَتَكْفُرُونَ بِبَعْضِ? Would you believe in some of the books, and some of the book, and believe in others? You can't pick and choose. You cannot pick and choose. Our religion remains whole all the time. I was in Boston last weekend. You guys know Imam Asif Harani? Does that ring a bell? Okay, he was an imam here in New Jersey for a while, and he moved to Worcester, Massachusetts. And so I was given, I had a program at his masjid last weekend, and he was talking to me about the homosexuality and how it's becoming a really big deal in our Muslim community. And I know a lot of times we're like, really, dude, you came at Feds to talk to us about homosexuality right now? I don't want to talk about this. But you know, subhanAllah, it's around. It's around a lot more than we think. And when you start, you actually, if you talk to your imam and other imams in the community, he'll tell you. And subhanAllah, you also see some people who are willing to compromise when it comes to that, for some political gains or whatever reason. You know? But we just don't do that. And I'll tell you the benefit of doing that at the end, inshallah. The biggest thing in Surah Kafiroon is you stick to your guns. We have to stand our ground. Society will change. Things will be okay today that will not be okay tomorrow, and vice versa. You know, in America, homosexuality was a disease up until, what, 10 years ago or so. Or even sooner than that. It was a mental disease that people will go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist to get treatment. But now it's like, oh, it's not a big deal. And then obviously as Muslims, we're going to face these problems with our kids, with school, with our schools. But we stick to our guns. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he says, Allah is answering for me. قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ, O you who disbelieve. Now, what is the surah before Surah Al-Kafiroon? Does anyone know? Surah Al-Kawthar. Surah Al-Kawthar is about people mocking the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. You know, one of the leaders of Quraysh called the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ Abtar because his son Ibrahim died, and he was like, nobody will carry your legacy, you're done. Right? And then the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, obviously, he was hurt. Because he had to deal with the death of his son, and then he had to deal with people make fun of the death of his son. Such wicked people, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals Surah Al-Kawthar. And now Surah Al-Kafiroon, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't say, Ya ayyuha al-Kafiroon. He says, Qul. And now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions Qul 5 times in the Quran. The Kafiroon, the 3 Quls, the last 3 surahs, and what's the 5th one? Does anyone know? Surah Al-Jinn. Right? Whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, say, it is an indication that it is coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because the Prophet would reveal every message, every verse that comes to him, he will go say it. Right? Yani it's given that when the Prophet receives revelation, he will go and tell everybody. But here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is starting the surah with Qul. To indicate to these people that it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who's calling you Kafirun. And some of the scholars say, subhanAllah, it's such a historical miracle because the 4 people that were standing in that meeting telling the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you worship our God 1 year, we worship your God 1 year, none of them believed. 4 of them that were standing there, none of them believed. And then, subhanAllah, it leaves some room. You might think, okay, if these people really wanted to destroy Islam, the easiest thing to do is to believe. And then they will go and say, look, your religion doesn't know anything. Your God doesn't know. Right? They will say, listen, we're going to go believe. And then what happens to this surah? Do you just take it off? No. They never believed. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that this Quran is everlasting. Even these, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because keep in mind, the Prophet never called anyone face to face, you kafir. It's never happened. You read books of Surah, this was not the way the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam would talk to people. Right? But Allah can say whatever He wants. Nobody tells Allah what to say. And even the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he was given directions, how do you give da'wah? وَادْعُ إِلَى سَبِيلِ رَبِّكَ بِالْحِكْمَةِ وَالْمَوْعِظَةِ الْحَسَنَةِ. Give da'wah to your Lord, to your religion, with the best of words. So nobody's going to go and say, oh, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam called this believer, I'm going to go tomorrow to my co-worker and say, yo, kafir John. Yo, kafir this. No, you don't do that. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls these people kuffar. Now, question here. Did these people believe in Allah or not? Did they believe that Allah created them, Allah created everything? Did they believe in that? Yes. Okay? So they did believe. And they were like, oh, we're willing to believe your God. So in some way, shape, or form, inside of them, they had belief. Okay? Yet, they were associating partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So does that make them Kafiroon or Mushrikoon? Because what does Kafiroon mean? Those who disbelieve completely. Okay? Mushrikoon are those who associate partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they believe in Allah, but they associate partners with, those are Mushrikoon. The people of Quraysh were Mushrikoon. They believed, they had some sort of belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not say, قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْمُشْرِكُونَ. He says, قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ. Why is that? It's not a trick question, it's actually very easy.
They're covering the truth.
Hmm?
They're covering the truth.
They're covering the truth? Okay, I'll take that. What else? Do you guys understand the question? Should I repeat? Is the question... Anyone? Last chance? Yes.
Synonymous.
They're the same. Okay, I like that.
Maybe they were the leaders, so they were preventing the truth to be spread or known.
Okay. Yes.
Because Allah knows they not believed him to even to the Prophet earlier. They're not believing.
They didn't believe in Allah in the first place. Very good. Okay. So the reason I'm bringing this question up is there's a very main principle when we're understanding the Quran. Is that the Quran might be revealed about certain individuals. Okay, and we have so many places in the Quran that talks about certain incidents, certain individuals. But lessons apply to anyone who falls in that same category. So, Kafiroon are inclusive of Mushrikoon. So Mushrikoon is like a smaller circle, those who associate partners with Allah. Kafiroon is the bigger circle. So Kafiroon does include Mushrikoon, in addition to everything else that everybody said. So, if everybody is reading that surah, right, even as Muslims, that this applies to anyone else outside of these four people, outside of Quraysh, outside of just in general. Although until the day of judgment, this surah applies to everybody. Because now it comes to us, because you might say, okay, you're talking about these people, the Prophet Muhammad, what does this have to do with me? It has a lot to do with that. Because we live in a non-Muslim land, for God's sake. We deal with non-Muslims all the time. And they will challenge us. You know, yesterday when I was doing the khutbah, one of the things I said was that when the Muslims enter Jannah, so a brother came to me and was like, you can't say that. I'm like, why not? Well, I mean, where else do you think we're going to go? I mean, we're going to all go to Jannah, inshallah. He was like, well, you know, there's a lot of nice Christian people, nice Jewish people, and they're all going to go to Jannah. Because all religions are the same. Where'd you get that from? He was like, that's just what I think. We're all the same. They're nice people. And then he was like, well, there's a lot of bad Muslims. I'm like, okay. But I mean, this is a really big deal. By the way, like in the majority of books that talk about our theology, this is something that talked about very extensively. Right? Which is the idea of bringing all the religions together. We're not the same, guys. Right? Inna ad-deena 'inda Allah al-Islam. Our religion as Islam, it stands alone by itself. Now, Allah Ta'ala said, if somebody who lives in a land where Islam didn't reach them, or Islam reached them distorted, or the clear message of Islam did not reach them, they were separate. But we know this in our religion, it's very clear. If anybody receives the clear message of Islam, the clear message of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, and they reject it, they will not go to Jannah. And this is very important for us as Muslims. Because then I ask myself, like, okay, so why do I have to pray then? If everybody's just going to go to Jannah? Right? If even people